Hi friends, this is Nikhil Salawat, and today we'll be covering about the very basic of the stock market. Okay, the basics about the Bombay Stock Exchange, what is National Stock Exchange, what is Sensex, Nifty, SEBI, and all that. We'll be covering very basic part of the stock exchange. So, what is the stock exchange? Yeah, in the basic definition, we can say it is an organization for buying and selling the stocks between the investors and the traders and other securities. Okay, so there are basically two stock exchanges in India called the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. Let's go in a little bit deeper why this stock exchange has been made. Okay, so basically the stock exchange is been established for improving our economy. So it's a question, how can, yeah, the answer is in the stock exchange companies get listed in the stock exchange and the investor and trader trades the stocks. Okay, so when a company is growing their business and wants to expand their business, then it's some capital. True. Okay, so the capital they want, it is being provided by the stock exchange. Simple. How the companies gets listed in the stock exchange and provides their stocks to the investors, and the investor in return pays the money for the stock, and the money is being given to the company, and in that way they can expand their business, and in the other sense we can say they provide more employment, which in turns result into our growth, economic growth. Okay, so what it is the basic funda we can say why the stock exchange has been made. Okay, as I told you, there are mainly two stock exchanges in India: Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. Okay, the Bombay Stock Exchange basically it's a governmental stock exchange, and the National Stock Exchange is a private stock exchange. So it's been made by a group of people. Okay, so these are the two stock exchange. Now the next thing we'll discuss about the market index. Just a second. Yeah, the market exchange. What is the market index? Okay, so we'll be taking the one stock exchange, for example, Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, in that you might have heard of the term called the Sensex. Okay, Sensex is basically a sensitive index, and which reflects the stock exchange picture of Bombay Stock Exchange. Yeah. So in the Bombay Stock Exchange, basically there are more than 5,500 companies are listed. Means the buying and selling of the stocks of 5,500 companies takes place in the Bombay Stock Exchange. And for that 5,500 companies, how their business is going, how the company is growing, that is reflected overall by our Sensex. Getting something? Okay, so here I said the 5,500 companies, overall picture is been represented by the Sensex. Now let's go a little bit deeper. Yeah, so in the 5,500 companies, there are companies from the different sectors or different industries, right? Yeah, so in the 5,500 companies, we take out the most actively traded companies. Means for those companies whose stock prices are being actively traded, that stocks we take, and we take about 30 companies, 30 largest most actively traded stocks from the various sectors, and these 30 stocks gives us the picture of the overall 5,500 companies of the Sensex of the Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, so this 30 companies from the different sectors, and we take companies from all the sectors of the Bombay Stock Exchange. Let's have a look at them. So these are the list of the 30 companies which are taken to reflect the picture of the Bombay Stock Exchange, means to reflect the picture of the Sensex. These are companies from the different sectors called the housing related, healthcare, telecom, FMCG, information technologies. So from all the sectors we have taken the companies, and and it reflects the picture of the economy. So one question may be arising for you, like why only these 30 companies are taken? What about the rest of them? Okay, so for example, we have taken one companies from the IT sector called Infosys. Okay, so Infosys companies that is listed in the 30 stocks, it directly or indirectly depends on the rest of the companies which comes under the IT industries. Okay, so it is indirectly or directly dependent on the rest of the IT companies. That's why this Infosys is taken in the best 30 largest stock. As I told you, these 30 companies are taken as the most actively traded companies. Okay, here you can see some more companies. Okay, it's information Wipro is also there, and Satyam Computer is also there. Oil and gas, you can see ONGC, NTPC, Power. So like this, 30 companies are taken. Yeah, and the next thing we will come on to the graph chart. As we can see from the 1998, it's around only 2600 points. One more thing, okay, when the Sensex started, it starts with only 1000 points. Okay, now you can see in the 2014 it has reached to around 28,000. I can see the pretty much growth in the market, and also you can see between 2008 and 9 the recession time the market went down. Okay, so it reflects the picture of the economy. Yeah, so here is a saying, if you invest by closing your eyes, also you can get at least 60% return every ticket. This picture shows the 16% return every ticket, as you can compare from the last two tickets. Okay, so same will go for the National Stock Exchange. As I told you, it's a privately stock exchange, and it's index representing the Nifty 50. Here 50 represents the 50 stocks taken from the National Stock Exchange companies. There are almost more than 2,500 companies are listed, and from that 50 stock exchange are taken from 21 different sectors that are well diversified and actively traded, and from that the National Stock Exchange pictures get clear. Okay, and here 2,500 companies from the National Stock Exchange and 5,500 companies from the Bombay Stock Exchange. And it's not like that if a company is listed in Bombay Stock Exchange, it's not listed in the NSE. Companies can be listed in the both the stock exchange, as many of them are there. Okay, here are some prevailing corporations which are responsible, called the Security Clearing Corporation. It is responsible for all the transaction executed in the NSE. And one more thing, in Nifty, that is the National Stock Exchange, it is one of the largest stock exchange in terms of the daily turnover. It's the number of trade it is being traded in the National Stock Exchange. Here you can see the list of all the 50 companies from the different sectors it has. From that the index is being calculated. Here are some more companies. Okay, here you can see the graph chart of the National Stock Exchange. Here it's somehow same as that of the Bombay Stock Exchange, you can see, because most of the companies are same in both the stock exchange. Correct. Okay, now as I told you, the companies are taken from the different stock exchange, and suppose you want that I'm interested in the banking stock exchange, that banks perform well and like this, so you can trade based on the sector wise. there are index related to different sectors. As you can see in the Bombay Stock Exchange, auto index is there, capital goods, FMCG, IT sectors there, real estate is there. So based on the different sectors, this index has been made. Also for the National Stock Exchange difference in index you can see here. Okay, and other than, as I told, there are two main stock exchange in India. Other than this, there are many regional stock exchange also available in the different cities of India, in the Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Bangalore, Pune, Vadodara, etc. Okay, now let us move on the picture of different stock exchange around the world. Here you can see the European market here. It's the FTSE 100 of the UK stock UK country. Here 100 represents their 100 actively traded stocks are taken. Here for CAC for France, here 40 stocks are taken. Here you can see for the Nasdaq, for the Dow Jones, New York Stock Exchange of the USA, and also for the Japan Nikkei 225. 225 stocks are taken. Okay, now getting some good picture about this. Okay, same way India's Nifty here itself written. Now one more term you might have heard about the SEBI. What is SEBI? SEBI is basically a Security Exchange Board of India. Okay, and it regulates all the process going in the stock exchange, how the company gets listed, how the trades are going between the investors and the stock exchange and the companies, how the transactions are being made. It regulates all this process and provides and supports the investors from any fraud and unfair trade practice. This is the main motive of the SEBI, and all the regulations are being made under the SEBI. Okay, and you can go to the Facebook page of mine and post some message if you have any queries. And that is about some basic of the stock exchange of India, and we'll see you in the next video to cover some more topics about the stock exchange. See you, bye bye.